Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the 2025 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. This is our round 3 final 9 lead card coverage at Brent Hambrick in Columbus, Ohio. On the commentators mic, you have myself, Zach O'Haron, and joining me again is Sam Smigiel. How we doing?
Oh man, Zach, we have quite the battle going on. Our lead card shooting pretty well. You know, Tony's got a decent round going. I believe 6 down for the round right now. And that's not good enough.
Yeah, apparently it's not.
We've got Parker 2 strokes ahead of him at 26, and yeah, no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, the decision-making moving forward is going to be important here. Looking to attack at every opportunity. We might see some people take some gambles or shots they might not normally have planned for, especially down the stretch, if they're in the right position to try to challenge this. And Parker, as we saw at the end around the front 9, just on a heater. 9 down through the front 8. He ended up parring hole 9. If he can keep this momentum up, there's no one who's going to catch him. I mean, this is spectacular disc golf. Hole 10, our card is just stay focused on the moment they're in right now, right? And so hole 10, this is a birdie opportunity, 355. You have to avoid the most perfectly placed tree of all time.
Man.
And try to get into this fairly protected green here. In my opinion, I think if your disc is fading left, you have more avenues to the green or to the basket than if it was to finish a little more right.
Agree with that. I think but if you are left early, then you're less likely to get close.
Sure.
So if you're not going to make it to the basket, the right side has a little bit more putting lanes, but really that's what you want to do right there.
If it misses the last tree, this is going to be perfect.
And it's such a tight line, you have to throw that on. This fairway looks open, but with that bush being a little shorter than that, as you said, that perfectly placed tree, you have to throw just this perfect little hyzer flip that doesn't quite get over all the way. Mm-hmm. And for a 355-foot hole, it's a great hole.
Mm-hmm. Winn had a great line there, but get caught up in the last patch of grass, so he gets caught up early. Trevon a little low as well on the right side, but they both have windows to the basket. And a good move on the putter there from Trevon, and whoa. Apparently we're doing trick shots.
Yeah, did you see that? Yeah.
All in frame. Winn now from circle 2.
Oh, that looks good.
Uh-oh. Someone got their putter back. I mean, Winn has played a fantastic first 2 rounds. That first round, just off the top for Tony there. The front 9 here, he made a couple mistakes. It wasn't quite on the pace that he has been all weekend, but with his skill set in this course, he could pop off for 9 down through this back 9.
Yeah.
If he just stays close, which could put him in the mix. I mean, staying perfect, like Parker did, is very difficult to do over 18. So if he finds the heat at the right time, you never know. Hole 11, par 5, 743. Not the longest par 5, Sam, but what makes this hole difficult?
Really just keeping it in the fairway. This, if you're going to err anywhere on the drive, make this right side. It's going to leave you with a sidearm approach. I think a lot of players are going to go for eagle, get as much distance as you can off the tee, and then that's going to get you inside 400 to the basket and give yourself a chance at it. But you get off the fairway anywhere on this hole, and you're bringing par for sure into play, if not bogey. And so really important to keep the disc straight, even when you're attacking.
Going to catch up with Parker real quick. Unfortunately, he has brought people back into the mix with a bogey on 10. So it's going to set him back a little bit, but the birdie here going to correct it, get himself to 26 under par again. But at least cracks the door open, right? If you've been so good for so long, having that opportunity for a 2-stroke swing on 10, and then now
starts to make these guys feel like, okay, he's not going to do this for the rest of the round. Right. You know, if I shoot hot, I'm still in it.
Right, and I mean, a birdie like for Winn and an eagle here would be 3 strokes, right? So like you can catch up strokes really quickly here.
This is a problem right here.
Needs to stop. Sit down.
And I think he was going with a slower disc to try to just keep it in the middle, just the way that was flying. It looked like maybe a mid-range, and really unfortunate to see that go as far left as it did. He's going to be really pinched on his next shot.
This needs to poke through.
And that's great.
Yeah, that's a great spot. A little shorter. The short grass there, I would say, is the ideal landing zone, but he's past that wall of trees, so he should have a full swing. Trevon probably trying to aim for the same spot. Whoa, this is got some action on it.
This is the last one. This is going to be great.
I mean, it was just
We'll have to see what kind of run-up he has with that tree.
Looks like maybe going to be a little standstill there. You can see Winn's going with the slower disc to try to make some distance around the corner. Still has birdie in play. Actually got up a little further than I expected.
Oh, that's...
Yeah,
he needed that to hit
early.
left.
That's just a little early of what he wanted.
Tony in a good spot here. He's going to have to get this to hook left, or excuse me, right pretty quickly. Uh-oh.
It's a little wide. Just keep fighting.
She's a fighter. She got through. Maybe not what he wanted, but the result will be fine. Now, this is a difficult approach from this angle, right?
Yeah. I think maybe that's... Oh. That was a really good shot. Deciding to go inside of that tree, definitely more dangerous shot, but there was no way you're throwing a backhand around that tree and still getting up the fairway. So, good job committing to the gap and still keeping birdie in play.
Yeah, nearly rewarded as well, just hitting that first layer of the plinko trees on the right side. Uh-oh.
Ooh. And a pulled shot and a friendly tree for Tony. He's going to have to go thank that one on his way down to the basket because that was definitely a pull. Starting to feel a little nerves, I think.
Back to back, because that last hole was the last throw as well was also left when he released it around the corner.
Yeah.
He's going to need to get this nerves under control to stay locked in. Birdie here will probably get him back centered. A little high, but it stayed in.
Yeah, the adrenaline's pumping. And you've got a lot of people in the mix right now, and every stroke, you feel it. Well, some great birdies for our card.
Yeah, I was going to say, multiple eagle opportunities, some good runs at it, saves for birdie, and they're going to keep themselves on the pace they need to be on. Hole 12, par 5, 785, a little longer. This one's a dog leg. You want your tee shot to be at least to this hill here, right on the left side.
Yep.
Open up the forehand, and then from there, just a pitch out to the corner, and then you have around 250, 260 to the basket, which is we've seen some trouble with some people because it's dirt patch. So we've been seeing skips. You've been talking about that in round 1 and 2. What do you need to do to mitigate that? Because the birdie's so important for this hole.
Yeah, if you're throwing the forehand approach, what I think a lot of players do to keep it away from the woods, you're just going to have to challenge the road. If you're confident with the backhand, then the backhand is going to hyzer a little bit into the side of the hill and keep it from skipping into the woods, which we see with a lot of forehands.
Right.
In
We saw
rounds
Winn
1 and
do
2.
it. Saved it last time, but it's never guaranteed from down there.
And we see a bit of a pull there from Winn.
Manageable position, though.
Yeah.
And we saw the first shot there leaks too long straight, but if he's got a forehand gap, he can still save
That's
it.
overstable. That's a good shot. And I think, good for Tony to get a forehand out after a couple of, kind of botched backhands.
Yep.
And now you kind of shake that off and kind of reset and, pretty easy backhand coming up for him.
This needs to not cut. Okay, it doesn't. I also like that play from Tony, too, because for him, because he's the closest to Parker right now. He's 2 strokes back. In order for him to really have a chance, he has 2 backhand holes on the final 4-hole stretch that he has to get. One of them very difficult, and if he doesn't have his forehand kind of already going, he could find himself losing a tournament like that because he's missing a hole, taking a bogey on one that he needs to stay. We saw it on hole 15 in round 2, that people were missing that shot high, or round 1, and missing it high because he maybe hadn't practiced it enough or had enough reps in the round. So I like that opportunity to try to get that dialed in.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that when you don't throw a shot for an hour and then you've got to go throw it, and it's a really important shot. Then, the nerves can start to affect that.
Tony able to get out into the fairway. Everyone's really gotten around the corner, so these are all looking really good. Now the approach from all of our competitors. These need to stay close. This is looking too far right.
It's just, I think, just a little too scared of that road. You got to challenge that road, and he's going to be down the hill. Had a putt at it last round, but you can't guarantee that you're going to have one. I like this a little better. Still going to slide a little bit, but he should be pretty close.
Also looked like he threw faster edge disc compared to Calvin. Then Calvin looked like he had a little slower disc, which I like as well. It mitigates some of that ground
This is what
action.
I like right here.
Oh, yeah.
Trevon does go with the driver, so you've got a chance at a roll, but really challenging that right side, knowing at worst. And the thing is, if you hit the road, there's no curb. Like, it's going to skip off the road back inbounds. So the road is not as much in play as you think that it is.
Tony off the pole, it looked like. Scoots a little past the basket. Winn, stuck in the woods. Made it last time. And a good effort this round, but leaks that one left. He's going to have that left for a par. Tony now, from 20 to 24, gets another high one to stick. As we get closer to the end of this round, the Ohio fans, the supporters, the club members, people who have finished their round, they've started now to congregate, especially in this area, because there's like a 3-hole loop we're in the same place. And you can definitely feel that there is a support for Tony from Ohio, right? They're like, oh, come on, we want you to, just like we get from Nick Gill at States, right? You get a big group of people like all there for Nick, and so that crowd's starting to congregate, and you can feel the energy of them wanting to chase this down, right? This is a race.
Yeah, it's great to see, locals coming out to support, one of their favorite players. And you can really feel the energy.
Hole 13, par 3, an incredibly difficult birdie. Maybe the toughest birdie to get on the course.
I think so, yeah.
The gap is so tough late. Here's Parker. Another check-in with him. He was able to birdie the previous hole, looking to get another
that's
one
got a
here.
chance, too.
And this is way up there.
Just to right side. Might have a putting lane up there. We'll see.
Going to follow him up to the putting green. He's a little off to the right side, but can see the basket. Unfortunately, this is going to leak left and par for Parker. Here we got Calvin. This looks good if it holds a little longer. It's got a...
I think it will.
I mean,
you can't throw it much better than that.
Oh,
That's
I know.
a great shot.
Another shot where maybe 6 inches right, and he gets that perfect. We had that on the previous par 5, and that one, he was very close.
And Tony looks like he's going to be playing just to the gap to have an upshot. Not a bad play there. Just give yourself the most open lane at the basket, because most people are not going to be birdieing this hole.
Trevon, going to have to go with the backhand here. This is going to leak out left. It's going to put him in that Plinko tree kind of gap, maybe farther. We'll see what he has from there. Winn now also going back end. This looks inside. No.
It's hooking up pretty nice.
Wow.
He sneaks through everything, and our best chance at birdie we've seen yet this weekend.
Yeah, he was able to sneak away with the birdie in round 2 with a long putt. See if he can go back to back here. Trevon now from the other side of this tree line, it's the bush line, whatever you call
just
it.
give me something that gives me a chance to get to the basket and move on.
Does a nice job, gets it right next to the basket. Calvin here just trying to give himself an opportunity. Looks like he might have this Annie lane. Not enough hold. Good effort, though. And we move over to Winn. It's got a small gap between the trees. Can he go 2 for 2? No problem. Apparently it's easy.
I love his putt. It's very direct.
Smooth.
Yeah, exactly. Just never has any hitches in his putt. It just looks good.
I keep forgetting stats because I'm so engrossed in the energy here. But just so we're aware, on hole 12, that Chris guy? He eagled that one, too.
What? How?
He wasn't the only. I don't know. He wasn't the only eagle on the weekend. We also had Carson Smith who gets it. But apparently, if you want to know how to eagle this course, that's the guy you talk to. Hole 14, par 3, 280 feet. Another must-get for our card. They all have the capabilities, forehand or Tony with the lefty backhand here, to get into the screen. You like the more outside gap of this hallway and sneaking on the left side of it. Drone's going through the inside gap. And I also like aiming for the outside gap, because if you happen to saw it off early, the early gap is
it's
possible
still
to save you. We see Parker able to sneak in there into the circles. We get another check-in on his score. Here he has this comeback putt. He has to straddle around the last skinny trees.
Forced to go to a knee and gets it to drop. He's laughing. He says, "This is just going my way right now."
Yeah, decided not to take the gap. Okay, smart enough.
Oh, this looks early and a little high. Not what you want coming down the stretch here.
And at this time, Winn's probably putting himself out of position for the win, and now birdies are just trying to keep yourself just as close as you can to the top of the leaderboard. Every stroke here is worth, a good chunk of change, so.
This one looks to be shaping up nicely. You just look for a little skip there and tree to slow it down. That should be tapping in for birdie just outside the bullseye.
That's what he's going to need to do. We have Trevon now throwing forehand. This is swinging on the outside there. Could get good ground action, and it does. And he'll have a short 15, 20-foot putt for his birdie as well. Winn for his approach here, chipping around the corner. Gets caught up a little early. He'll have a little bit of a tester there for his par look.
Yeah, really frustrating to leave this one short, because that green's pretty protected, and you can't really guarantee that you can park it. Really well done there from Calvin, just to kind of sneak it through the trees, pick the lane, and Winn's left with the edge of circle putt, able to knock that one down.
It's a tap in for him today, so we're good.
Yeah, he's a great putter. He's putting really well. Trevon sneaks one over the edge.
Tony's going to tap in his birdie as well. And this is the birdie lane, right? From 14 to 18. These are all must-gets if you're trying to win this event, right? You need to stay clean on the stretch. They're all gettable, but 15, in my opinion, is the hardest one to get. It's a tight fairway. We've talked about it a lot. Probably a mid-range to control the speed into the gap, trying to hook it around the corner. Tony in round one missed high, so he's gonna be throwing the forehand with probably something faster. So again, Tony's right now the one in the mix of our card the closest in terms of trying to chase down Parker, but so his birdie matters a lot here, especially considering this doesn't favor his shot at all. This is the anti-Tony hole, and he loves it.
This is looking really good. Something very overstable that he can challenge that back wall of trees and get plenty of skip on. That was a fantastic shot.
You can see the excitement. The adrenaline's hitting Tony here. He knows he's keeping it close.
This looks good from Trevon.
A little tree nudge never hurt anyone, apparently, as he gets in the bullseye. Winn now with a couple rough holes, looking to bounce back.
Maybe inside a little bit. No, it does get through, and
sit down.
Actually a little bit long.
Which is hard to do here, especially with a slower disc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got Calvin now. Gets a get dip under the trees, and it does. Misses the last guardian. He's going to be in circle.
Very good shots from our lead card there.
It's what you hope to see from guys trying to chase down someone who's been playing so well. Winn from distance here, probably just outside circle. No problem.
You knew he was going to make it.
No problem. We have Calvin now with the 25-footer. A little high and right, but it sticks in the basket. He's still in the mix. If Tony and Parker were able to have, critical failures on a hole, take a bogey, he might be able to sneak back into it. But so he's just got to do his job, stay close. And we're going to transition now. I love this final stretch. You go back and forth between a forehand favored hole and a backhand favored hole. We have hole 16 here, 318. You just got to throw something, I think, straighter than you think.
Yep.
I think people think you kind of need to hook it. I don't think you need to. If you hit straight for 280 feet and let the disc naturally kind of fade right, you're going to be parked. You don't need to force anything.
Yeah, Tony throwing a slower disc is definitely going to help. It's going to keep it going a little bit straighter. The other guys that are probably throwing a forehand with a driver, I think they want to challenge that last little pine tree on the left. Parker, looks like we got another chance at birdie here.
Mm-hmm. And he is looking well in control here down the final stretch. He is at 30 down, which is the objective score we were looking for. That's one in general. So as long as he stays clean, I mean, he's in control.
And this is early from Tony. It's got to sneak through, and there's a lot of trees that can eat that up. I think we just saw it spit out on the edge there.
Yeah,
so
well short.
probably a long putt that's going to be pretty tough.
This needs to get around as well. And that looks like it got caught up early.
And you see that same thing. These guys are playing it just a little bit inside. And like you said earlier, playing it a little straighter than you think. There's so much more room once you get past those trees. I really like that from Winn.
Yep.
Still a very stable disc, and probably skip pretty much under the basket. But
yep.
If anything, airing a little bit straighter like this.
Mm-hmm. I think those are the two best shots for this hole. Either you throw a little more stable and you push to the left side and just kind of commit to the hyzer, or you kind of go with the Calvin line, which is throw something a little straighter, a little flip up, let it ride, and then come back.
And Trevon electing to go with a roller inside of 100 feet, so not something you want to be dealing with coming down the stretch here. I think Tony giving it just a little bit of a bid. Keeps it close. Should be able to tap that one in for par.
Yeah, and that's a momentum loser. You're looking to be catching up maybe 2 or 3 strokes now in the last 2 holes.
Mm-hmm.
One of those holes does not favor him at all. He's
still got a good forehand. I mean, he threw a really good forehand on the last hole. If he can throw something pretty similar, just with a little bit less hyzer, I think
Sure.
it's not too different of a shot where he's definitely got that in the bag.
Yeah.
He's still looking to birdie hole 17, so he's in it for sure.
hole 17, 350. This is a backhand hyzer hole if you have it. For Tony, as you just mentioned, it will be a forehand. You got to stay clean off the gap, and you have to fade late. You can't miss early left. That's where you get yourself into trouble. There's some trees and some plinkos over there. So as long as you can get into the green in one shot, you always give yourself an opportunity for a birdie, which is what this whole card needs right now with how good Parker's playing.
Yeah, early left is an opportunity for a bogey, so you definitely want to push it a little bit straighter off the tee. We'll see what Parker's going with, probably with kind of a moderate stability mid-range, and this early shot is exactly what I'm talking about. You can't do. Would have really liked to see that one go a little straighter before it faded. So now
That bush
we're
is
talking about essential scramble.
Yes, and this bush in front of him, it's hard to tell. He can't go high. It blocks the forehand kind of turnover, so he has to go low here, which is a difficult putt. And
Honestly,
another
a pretty good shot from where he was at. There's not a lot of room to work, and I think he's going to be inside the circle, but man, obstructed putt. This is a tough one.
Oh, and that cracks the door open. 2-stroke swing here for Tony would tie them up now.
Wow. It's getting close.
And of course, Tony being on lead card is given the advantage of information here. So he's not first off this tee pad. He's checking scores now because he wants to know if there was even a chance, and is getting the update that a bogey just happened, that he has the opportunity to 2-stroke this, get himself into contention again. Calvin leaves that 2 straight. That's going to be off, probably not a birdie look from there.
This just needs the distance. That's fine.
Oh, he loves it.
Come on, go in, go in.
And that should be going up towards the basket. We'll have to see how close it ends up.
It depends on how much it skips.
Mhm.
Could have been, a little short into those trees we saw Parker putting from. Could have skipped long at the basket. But objective 1 complete.
Hit the gap, right. Brad Schick actually showed up after his round at this point and was talking about when he saw the bogey that he's like, well, Tony's aced this before with a forehand. Imagine, and he's just kind of hyping that up in the background. Brad was very professional. He wasn't like talking it to Tony, right, and putting that in his head. But
Yeah,
just,
go ahead and throw this one in, buddy.
right, but but whispering about, oh man, that could be a huge. And okay, sure.
Win with another one. How about this guy? Just having a heck of a tournament there.
This is huge to tie the leader going into 18.
Another high one, but it sticks.
Kept on the pro
Tony
side.
is locked in.
The focus is there. Let's take another look at that one. This is the most important part of the tournament at this point for our lead card. As you mentioned, high on hyzer, but luckily just below those rings that keep it attached to the basket, so it doesn't get a real hard nudge out. It's able to scoop into the basket and fall. Hopefully he gives that basket a kiss later, because that was helpful.
You know what? Good enough is as much as you need in the game of golf.
And now we're on to 18, and 18 is the most important hole now, as it's 582 feet. It's pretty standard, throw hard, birdie. And for Parker and for Tony, no mistakes can be happening anymore. Now you have to be clean off the tee, and because of the wind, you have to be close on the second as well. You don't want to give yourself a longer putt than you need to. At this point, you need to finish this off with a birdie, get yourself a playoff opportunity, and start again on hole 1, which for Parker might be the advantage. I mean, he shot perfect through the front 9.
And like you said, there's really not a whole lot off of this tee. I really like this, just keeping it low, keeping it in bounds.
It's going to be a little farther back for Parker, but
now the important thing is do not leave this short. That little extra hill there makes this play a little bit longer than you'd like, and that right there, you've got a windy 30-foot putt to deal with. Has to go in.
And immediately out of the hand, he knew it was going to be too far left. Hits high on the am side, spits out, which means Tony can birdie to win. So you can see Parker checking scores right before he teed off. So he knows Tony's swung the pendulum back in his direction, knowing that pressure to birdie at least force the playoff. And now Tony has the opportunity to just win it outright.
Yeah. Really important just to get this one in bounds. Don't worry about getting a bunch of distance off the tee, and this is going to be right where he needs it to be.
Calvin now gives this one a big rip. He actually waited for the red shirt, blue shirt pedestrians to walk farther forward, because he was like, I don't want to accidentally hit him. And then as soon as he let go of the disc, he said, well, thank God I let him walk, because he thought it was headed right at him. Trevon also in a good spot there. Just getting up the fairway. He's going to forehand approach preferred for him.
Nice for Tony to actually get a read off of Trevon's disc here. So he sees someone go first, and you can see what Trevon's forehand, which is going to be the same spin that Tony's throwing into the green at. So he can get a little bit of a judge there and hopefully get this one close.
It's up. Swinging, swinging nicely,
and that's looking good. Closer than Parker.
Yes.
Looks to be about 20 feet.
And it's not over. Again, it's windy. You take one mental lapse here, and we're back to the playoff here. He has the chance to win it, but this is, and I know for Tony, this is a tournament he wants to win badly. It's in his home state. It's a historic course, historic event. I mean, this was on the tour at one point, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is something he wants in his resume, and that can build up a lot of pressure even for a short putt.
Yeah, you could see even after that last shot there, he's taking some deep breaths, trying to keep himself calm, knowing that he's got a really important putt coming up.
This is it for the win. The only advantage he has here is that even if he misses, it will be a playoff at worst.
High again, but it sticks. And we have a new champion, the Brent Hambrick Memorial, Tony Moe.
Congratulations to him. Couple tap-ins left for our card still, because, details matter. We don't want to just walk off the course and take +2 for no reason, lose some money. So tap in there for Winn, for Calvin, a couple birdies. Par here for Trevon to wrap up his round. And, I mean, that was exciting. We had a battle back and forth. Parker perfect through the front 9. I mean,
some great play from our lead card. It took a great round to finish this one out and get the win there, especially with Parker doing what he did, almost taking it down himself,
right?
Really giving this lead card a push, and Yeah, Tony had to earn that one down the stretch.
Good shoot, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the 2025 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open MPO Division, Tony Moe Reiss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would say this is a long time coming, but this is hard to win. So, thank you, guys.
A lot of emotions there from Tony as this is just take a breath, big man. You did it. So we get some final congratulations from our TD and everyone there to support, and take a quick look at scores there. Tony's going to end up with that 30 down, so that 10 down average is exactly where we expected that winner or the leaders to kind of be contesting around, and it's good enough to win this one. Win at 27, Trevon at 26, and Calvin pretty consistent there on the back nine. We have another clean back nine from our lead card, just 2 strokes off of the leader there, as we have a clean podium there, 1, 2, and 3 with Calvin taking the 3rd position. Thank you, Sam, so much for joining me. This was a great tournament.
This was an exciting event. We had a lot of action on this one, a lot of swings. Didn't know who was going to win that one till the last second.
Mm-hmm.
That's some really exciting disc golf.
If you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, hit that notification bell from future events that we're going to be posting. Patreon's an easy way to support us financially. As little as $1 a month will help us make more coverage and be able to go, where we get invited to. So thanks, Sam, so much for joining me. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys at the next event.